don't forget that when we came to the United States, we did not come straight out of concentration camp. At first, our job was when we were freed, is how to get out of the Soviet Union. During Stalin, when they wouldn't even allow a corpse to get out. So we had a big problem. First problem was we had no document. They were taken away from us. And although my mother was born in Poland, we certainly had no Polish certificate. So I don't know whether to go on with the story because these stories can get long. I'll try to make it as short as I can. Luckily, we found in our apartment a Polish certificate made out by people who were living there when we were away. I found somehow ink eraser, which, by the way, in the Soviet Union, to find a ink eraser was like finding a diamond on Times Square. And they didn't even have decent paper for the kids to write on. So I erased it. I erased the name. I wrote in my mother's name. You can be sure that it was not a perfect job, but she went to the Polish consul, and I'm only guessing that when he saw her, he must have said yes before she even asked him anything, because he saw her state. She was in a very bad emotional state, and he saw what she went through, and so he accepted that Polish certificate, and we were able to leave for Poland. Then from Poland, we realized it was such a bad, terrible atmosphere for Jews. There were pogroms. One even of the pogroms is mentioned in the email, in the what do I call it? You can find it you can find it actually on the internet. It's called the Kielce pogrom, Kielc. Maybe there was an E at the end too. I don't remember anymore because this is in Polish, Kielce. And there they killed 40 Jews who returned from concentration camp and thought they would be able to live in Poland again. But because a child in that city in Kielce got lost, so they figured the Jews must have killed him. So in the meantime, they just went into town. The Jews lived at that time in very close quarters because they were afraid. They knew what to expect. And there was an apartment house. They got it. These were civilians. They got into that apartment house and they killed 40 Jews. When we saw that, we knew already we cannot stay longer. It was right after the war. Because on our way, even in the train, when we stopped for the night, when they heard someone speak Yiddish, we were pelted by stones. And when we came out, when we were walking to the city from the train, we were also pelted by stones. With all those special names they give to Jewish people. And so we left at that time. I remember there was some kind of guard, Palestinian, Jewish Palestinians, Jews that wanted to get out as many Jews from the east as possible. So they came on their own to get out those refugees in order to get them to the west. Sometimes they were successful and sometimes not. So we were caught on the border by a Polish guard. That was the second time my violin was taken away from me, because he asked me, we were walking through the forests, but we were caught. So he saw the violin, he said, "What's in here?" By the way, I was not supposed to understand Polish. I was not supposed to speak Yiddish. I was not supposed to speak any other language, but I was supposed to know Greek. So they taught us a few Greek words, and we put on berets. And so he asked us where we are going. We said, we are Greeks. We are going back to our homeland. And so he asked me, what is in this? So I made myself like I'm trying to understand, but I don't understand what he said. And I said, violin, violin. So he said, no, he said, you're taking this for business. You want to make money. So I said, no, I'm playing. So he said, open it up. And I tried to, to act like if I tried to guess what he's saying. I was not supposed to understand what he was saying. So I opened the violin. I said, no, play. So in the middle of the forest there, it was coming down a little bit rain also. So I had to play something to show him that I'm playing something. No, put it back, close it. Then he took it away from me. But we were glad he let us go. Maybe that was our saving grace. So we left from Poland to Czechoslovakia. We arrived to Prague. That was the first time I realized that there was still humanity, because they treated us decently. They knew that we were, obviously, they saw that we were refugees. And they used to give us sometimes cards for bread. At that time, it was still a socialist system. So they were also limited by what they got. They used to share with us sometimes things. But we were not there long. We stayed in Prague, and then from Prague, this leader took us to the US zone of Germany. It was divided into four zones, as you know. At that time, Germany was divided into a English, French, German, English, French, American, and Russian. So we wound up in the American zone. Then when I first saw an American soldier, I said, now we are in the open world. We were sent to I don't know how, the details I don't remember anymore because there was so much going on. We were sent to a DP camp, displaced persons camp. And there it was like paradise. Because although we were living two families in one room, it felt like we were actually in paradise. We were given food. We were not hungry. We were not afraid to wonder what is going to happen to us tomorrow. Are we going to be alive or not? So there I started going to school. I started taking lessons, violin lessons. And that in itself is a long story because it involved a Nazi who was my first violin teacher after the war.